In this episode of Highlight Sundays, randomness ensues, more so than usual. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. It is the 49th week of 2012 and here are your highlights. We do not have a PSA this week. That is always good news, but my first article today does have something to do with security. Now, as you know, people really love GPUs these days. And the reason for that is because, well, they're really fast in processing graphics. Now, if you were to try to go in depth and try to understand why that is so, you realize that a GPU basically is able to do a lot of things in parallel. So in a nutshell, your CPU has a small number of cores that can work very fast, as opposed to your GPU, which has a large number of cores, but they each have their own specific function. However, with new processing standards like CUDA or OpenCL, what you can do is you can actually harness that parallel power of your graphics card for use in, well, normal computation. Now, normally this is a really good thing, but of course it can be misused. In this article by Gizmodo, we see that some hackers have actually put together this unit that is designed for cracking passwords. So basically this article actually shows you a picture. There are apparently 25 AMD Radeon graphics cards just put in there, and basically they have the power to brute force crack 348 billion passwords per second. So the whole idea behind a brute force attack is it is basically trial and error. It is simultaneously the least practical and most practical method of cracking a password, and the reason why I say that is, of course, a brute force attack is not efficient. It has to try out everything in an exhaustive manner, and yet it is actually probably the easiest way, because obviously at the end of the day you are going to crack the password. If you actually try to figure out the mechanics behind, how to actually crack a password, it will probably actually take longer. The scary thing with this rig that we see is that now brute force cracking could potentially take a short amount of time. In the past, we've always relied on the fact that brute force cracking isn't a practical idea. You see that people always mention, things like, oh, this password is going to take so many years to crack. And what it means is, if you were to actually attempt to crack it by brute force, it is going to take a seriously impractical amount of time. However, with parallelization, as shown in the article, what used to have to take a really long time now takes maybe even a matter of minutes. Now, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be anything we can do about it at this point of time. So once again, the message I have to all of you is to make sure you use strong and, difficult to decrypt passwords. Don't use dictionary words. Use a jumble of characters, throw in some numbers, throw in some punctuation, and make the password long. Your only chance of safety actually lies in that. Our next article today is for Nexus 4 owners. According to this article on GSMArena, it seems that many Nexus 4 users are actually having problems with touch sensitivity on the Nexus 4 device. So basically what this article has for you is a download to a new driver. Now the article doesn't tell us a whole lot about the mechanics behind this, but from what I understand it's actually a touch driver which replaces your stock touch driver. It can be undone, but you're gonna need a rooted Nexus 4 phone. But hey, if you're a Nexus 4 user and you're finding the touch sensitivity a little bit wonky, feel free to hop down to the video description where you can find the article and also a download link for this patch. Moving along here and still having to do with the Android platform, you remember that some episodes back I actually mentioned to you some rumors regarding the next version of Android, and apparently it is called Android Keyline Pie. Now what we have from this article, which comes from GSMArena, basically gives you proof from a Google employee that it is indeed called Keyline Pie, and well, I guess that's good to know. What's more interesting about this, and I'm going on a tangent here, but whatever. What's more interesting about this is the fact that I've only just realized that each subsequent Android version is actually a progression of letters. Like we had Ice Cream Sandwich, which was I, Jelly Bean, which was J, and Keyline Pie, which was K. And that is something that I never noticed. So if you hop over to this article, see I'm trying to bring it back, there actually is this picture where they have the Android droid going through all the stages, eating all the different sweet stuff that they have named, all the releases after. So funnily enough, I'm not actually discussing the actual article so much as, well, talking about something else. But still it's interesting, which is why I'm mentioning it. As always, the link to the article is in the video description. Do hop over and check it out. Now, here's one from Gizmodo. Apparently, pictures that were taken with Instagram and posted on Twitter now look a bit strange. Apparently, what is going on now is that Instagram isn't using the proper Twitter API to display the Instagram images, which is why some pictures might appear, cropped or cut off somehow. Now, this article has actually been updated a number of times, so when I first read it, it just said there is this problem and they're trying to contact, the various people to see what they have to say. So what I managed to gather is that Twitter has this API that Instagram isn't using, which is why things are going weird. Basically, in Instagram's latest statement, they are saying, basically they don't want to use the Twitter cards implementation anymore. There's nothing Twitter can do about it because Twitter, has that API for you to use. And as you know, Instagram was bought by Facebook, so there might be some, business thing going on there. But that seems to be, the unfortunate way things are going. So it seems to be a decision on their part. It was not actually a mistake. Things will actually continue this way until they decide to, work some other kind of magic. And there you have it. That's all there is for today's 4 articles. Now I actually have 2 vlog updates for you, so let us jump right in. First, starting this coming week, I'm actually going to revive my old project that is sorting algorithms. I've had a whole lot of feedback over the years. It's been nearly 3 years since my first series, and I thought it was about time I actually tried to improve upon the series. So what I intend to do is 16 episodes, complete overhaul of the sorting algorithm series, and if I get my schedule right, they will all be coming out within the month of December. So in the meantime, I will suspend the whole Random Monday video thing while I hammer out the entire sorting algorithm series. You can expect to see at least 3 videos per week, if not more, because hey, it's the holidays for me and I'm gonna just work my brains off. Next thing I have for you is completely irrelevant to what I normally do, but if you're interested, basically from now till the 11th of December, Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, 2 very popular, zombie apocalypse games, are actually available at a 75% discount on Steam. I kinda jumped at it. I actually bought a package that had both the games for just $7.49. I think this cost nearly $30 before this discount. So don't miss out on it. It's open until the 11th of December. I have the games. I don't think I'll be doing any recording. At least I don't have plans to do so. But hey, it's about time I caught up with the whole shooter thing. But whatever, that's all there is for this episode of Highlight Sundays. As always, if you have any comments, queries or suggestions, or if you have anything to share for the next episode of Highlight Sundays, do feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate every like, favorite and subscription you give me. But until next time, you're watching 0612 TV.